At the beginning of 2026, events started unfolding within American technology circles that until recently seemed like absolute science fiction. Following a series of successful tests of the new version of Starship conducted by SpaceX, as well as closed demonstrations of the latest Tesla Optimus robots for investors and Pentagon representatives, rumors increasingly began appearing in the media that Elon Musk was preparing the largest project in human history. And this is no longer about new electric vehicles, artificial intelligence, or even building another gigafactory. According to several American publications connected to the space industry, Musk intends to send the first Tesla Optimus robots to Mars as early as the end of 2026, without humans, only machines. And if these reports truly reflect reality, humanity is now standing on the threshold of a new era in which the first species to massively colonize another planet may not be humans at all, but humanoid robots controlled by artificial intelligence. Information about the upcoming mission first began leaking after another Starship test, which inside SpaceX is being described as perhaps the most successful in the entire history of the program. According to insiders, the company's engineers finally managed to solve several critical problems that for years prevented Musk from moving closer to his main dream, creating a fully reusable interplanetary system. During the test, the new version of Starship demonstrated stable landing capability, successful operation of the latest generation Raptor engines, and significantly improved thermal protection of the hull. But most importantly, the system demonstrated the projected payload capacity required for delivering heavy cargo to Mars. And this means that for the first time, SpaceX has gained a real opportunity to send not just scientific equipment to the Red Planet, but dozens of tons of full-scale machinery. And according to sources inside the company, special versions of Tesla Optimus have already been adapted for these parameters for several months. According to journalists close to SpaceX, Elon Musk personally held a closed meeting with part of the Tesla and xAI staff, where he made a statement that shocked even some company engineers. Musk allegedly said that the Optimus project is no longer viewed only as a commercial household robot. It is now the foundation of a future Martian civilization. According to him, sending humans to Mars without preliminary preparation is too dangerous, too expensive, and too slow. Instead, the first years of Mars exploration will be carried out by machines, and not specialized rovers like those used by NASA, but full-fledged humanoid robots capable of performing virtually any task a human can perform. That is exactly why Tesla has sharply accelerated Optimus development in recent months, integrating new artificial intelligence systems, improved motors, autonomous power systems, and more human-like hand mechanics. Some analysts point to a strange coincidence. Recent demonstrations of Optimus looked completely different from before. Whereas Tesla previously showed robots slowly walking across a stage and performing simple actions, insiders are now reporting an entirely different level of capability. According to rumors, new versions of Optimus are already capable of working for hours without recharging, independently navigating difficult terrain, carrying heavy loads, using tools, and even interacting with one another without human involvement. And during closed tests inside SpaceX, the robots allegedly already trained for tasks directly connected to the Mars mission. These include unloading containers, deploying solar panels, assembling modular structures, and creating temporary energy systems in conditions simulating the Martian surface. The most interesting part is that, according to several technology publications, the first mission may become far larger than previously expected. Initially, it was assumed that only a few Optimus robots would be sent to Mars as an experiment, but now some sources are talking about dozens of robots already being included in the first wave, and these are supposedly not just standard humanoid versions. According to rumors, Tesla and SpaceX are testing several specialized Optimus modifications for Mars. Some will handle construction and heavy labor, others will maintain energy systems. A third group will perform autonomous terrain exploration, and the most advanced versions are allegedly being integrated with the latest xAI neural networks, allowing them to make decisions almost in real time without constant control from Earth. This particular detail is causing serious concern among some experts, because in reality, this would represent the first attempt to create a fully autonomous robotic colony beyond Earth. According to insiders, SpaceX is already discussing scenarios in which not just dozens, but thousands of Optimus robots could be operating on Mars within a few years after the first missions. Musk reportedly believes that the only way to rapidly colonize Mars is to build a massive army of machines capable of working around the clock in extreme conditions without requiring oxygen, food, or radiation protection. And if the first tests succeed, the number of robots on Mars could begin growing exponentially. Some analysts are already calling this the first industrial expansion of humanity into space, because for the first time in history, humans are preparing to send not just a research mission to another planet, but an actual workforce. Moreover, according to sources, Tesla views Optimus not as a temporary solution, but as the foundation of Mars's entire future infrastructure. Robots are expected to build the first roads, unload Starship cargo, install gigantic solar farms, extract ice, prepare habitat modules, and even construct the first industrial facilities. And this is where things become especially fascinating. According to several insiders from California, SpaceX is already testing a new logistics system in which Starship will transport not only robots to Mars, but also automated construction containers filled with equipment. And the unloading will supposedly be performed entirely by Optimus robots themselves. After landing, the robots would independently exit Starship, deploy energy systems, run diagnostics on equipment, and begin preparing the base without a single human present on the planet's surface. Some engineers are calling this the moment humanity ceases to be an exclusively Earth-based species. At the same time, Elon Musk in private conversations reportedly compares the future Mars program to the settlement of the Wild West. Except instead of cowboys and builders, there would be millions of humanoid machines. In his view, robots will be able to accomplish tasks that humans currently cannot. They will operate in extremely low temperatures, survive dust storms, maintain equipment under radiation exposure, and build infrastructure without risking human life. Only after the base becomes relatively safe would the first humans begin arriving on Mars. It is also interesting to imagine what the colonization process itself might look like. According to analysts, during the first years, Mars could resemble a gigantic automated construction zone. Imagine an enormous red desert filled with hundreds of silver Optimus robots carrying Tesla and XAI logos. Some are installing solar panels the size of football fields. Others are unloading Starship cargo. Others are assembling habitat modules. Still others are laying communication systems between sections of the future base. And all of this would happen with almost no human involvement. Some sources even claim that SpaceX is already discussing the possibility of building fully autonomous robotic cities before the first human colonists ever arrive. In other words, humans could potentially land on Mars and discover ready-made infrastructure already built entirely by robots. This is exactly why Musk is now pushing Optimus so aggressively. According to analysts close to the company, Tesla internally already views this project as potentially more important than automobiles themselves. Another topic drawing enormous interest is the role of artificial intelligence, because controlling millions of robots from Earth is practically impossible due to the communication delay between planets. That is why, according to insiders, XAI is rapidly accelerating the development of autonomous decision-making systems for Optimus. Some experts believe that Mars could become the first place where artificial intelligence receives almost complete freedom of action in a real-world environment. Robots would independently distribute tasks, coordinate construction, and adapt to environmental changes on their own. If this truly happens, humanity would effectively create the first independent machine ecosystem beyond Earth. Many analysts are already comparing what is happening to the beginning of a new space race. Following reports about Musk's plans, both China and the United States reportedly became far more active. According to several Western media outlets, NASA and the Pentagon are closely monitoring the development of the Optimus program out of concern that SpaceX could gain an enormous technological advantage. Because whichever company first creates a stable robotic infrastructure on another planet would effectively gain control over the future space economy. Against this backdrop, investor interest in Tesla and SpaceX has surged dramatically. Some Wall Street analysts are already calling Optimus the most important product of the 21st century. In their view, if robots truly prove capable of operating autonomously on Mars, this would automatically demonstrate the feasibility of deploying them on a massive scale on Earth as well, and that would represent a potential market worth trillions of dollars. But what shocks people most is something else entirely. Musk openly talks about a future in which millions of robots could exist on Mars. Not thousands, not tens of thousands, millions. And if you closely examine the development of Starship, it becomes clear why he is so confident. SpaceX plans to launch hundreds of spacecraft every year. Each Starship will be capable of transporting enormous amounts of cargo, which means the company could theoretically begin mass transportation of Optimus robots to the Red Planet. Some futurists believe that within 15 to 20 years, the surface of Mars could look completely different. Instead of a barren red planet, there could be gigantic energy stations, robotic factories, domed cities, and entire districts constructed by machines. Most of the work would supposedly be carried out by Tesla humanoid robots. Humans would become more of a managerial layer within a new civilization. And this is exactly where the story begins to resemble science fiction. Because only a few years ago, the idea of millions of robots on Mars sounded like the plot of a movie. But today, the world's largest private space company already possesses a rocket theoretically capable of making it possible. At the same time, Tesla is developing humanoid machines with increasingly advanced AI. And when these two technologies are combined, it becomes easier to understand why many analysts have started taking Musk's statements far more seriously. Some insiders even claim that SpaceX has a long-term plan, according to which Mars should become humanity's first fully autonomous robotic industrial zone by the mid-2030s. Only after that would large-scale human migration begin. In essence, Optimus is supposed to become the bridge between Earth and a new civilization on another planet. And the more such leaks appear, the stronger the feeling becomes that humanity is truly approaching a moment that could permanently change history. Because if the first Tesla Optimus robots really are sent to Mars by the end of 2026, it will not simply be another space mission. It will represent the first step toward creating an entirely new world in which machines begin building civilization before humans arrive. But according to several former SpaceX employees, the atmosphere inside the company changed dramatically after the successful tests of the latest Starship versions. If discussions about Mars previously sounded like Musk's distant dream, many engineers now reportedly see it as a genuine operational objective for the coming years. One insider who spoke anonymously with journalists stated that SpaceX is already discussing real logistical strategies for delivering the first dozens of Optimus robots to the surface of Mars. And this is supposedly not just a symbolic mission designed for headlines. According to the source, Musk is demanding the creation of a system capable of operating autonomously, even in the event of a complete loss of communication with Earth, which means the robots would essentially need to survive independently on another planet. Some analysts believe this is exactly why Tesla has accelerated development of more human-like hands for Optimus so aggressively in recent months. During closed demonstrations, the company allegedly showcased new manipulator systems capable of incredibly precise actions. The robots have reportedly already learned to work with tools, sort components, transport complex equipment, and interact with objects almost as carefully as humans. And according to experts, all of this is directly connected to Mars. Because on the Red Planet, it will be impossible to manually control every movement of every robot. The machines will need to repair equipment on their own, connect power systems, assemble structures, and adapt to unexpected situations independently. This aspect has attracted particular attention from the Pentagon and NASA. According to several American media reports, U.S. government agencies are increasingly viewing Optimus not merely as a commercial Tesla product, but as a potentially strategic technology of the future. Because whichever company first learns how to deploy humanoid robots at scale in the extreme conditions of another planet would automatically gain a massive technological advantage on Earth as well. This includes applications in mines, military bases, Arctic stations, deep-sea facilities, and any hazardous environment where human presence involves significant risk. Against this backdrop, rumors that SpaceX has already begun designing special Martian docking systems for Starship appear especially interesting. According to insiders, future spacecraft will reportedly include enormous cargo sections, optimized specifically for transporting Optimus robots and construction equipment. Some sources claim the first starships carrying robots could resemble gigantic automated transport vessels straight out of science fiction. Inside would supposedly be dozens of secured humanoid machines, containers filled with solar panels, mobile reactors, autonomous drilling systems, and ice extraction equipment. After landing, all of this is expected to come to life within just a few hours. According to rumors, SpaceX is testing a scenario in which Optimus robots immediately leave the spacecraft after the cargo bay opens and begin preparing the base autonomously. Some robots establish communications, others connect energy systems, others inspect the area around Starship for safety. Additional robots begin unloading equipment, and all of this would happen without any human involvement. In essence, Musk reportedly wants to create the first fully automated space expedition in human history. Some engineers are even convinced that Mars could become the ideal environment for the evolution of artificial intelligence itself. On Earth, autonomous systems are restricted by laws, infrastructure, and constant human oversight. But on another planet, robots would be forced to make decisions independently, and this could supposedly trigger an enormous leap in AI development. Some analysts are already calling Mars a testing ground for the birth of a new digital intelligence. According to Western publications, xAI currently has a dedicated team working exclusively on Martian autonomy for Optimus. Their objective is to teach the robots not merely to execute commands, but to interact with one another as a unified system. That means one robot would be able to transmit information to another, jointly solve problems, and coordinate construction without direct control from Earth. In essence, this would represent the creation of a collective machine intelligence. Some experts believe that the first years of Martian colonization will look extremely strange to humanity. Imagine a vast red desert where hundreds of humanoid figures move through dust storms with Tesla logos on their chests. At night, the Martian surface is illuminated by thousands of lights from solar stations and automated factories. Massive starships land one after another, unloading new batches of robots and equipment, and humans are still millions of kilometers away from all of it, watching everything through cameras. Elon Musk, according to journalists, considers this scenario the only realistic one. He is reportedly convinced that attempting to send large numbers of humans immediately would end in disaster. Mars is too dangerous. Radiation, extreme cold, lack of oxygen, massive dust storms, and the near absence of infrastructure make human survival extremely difficult. That is why machines must arrive first. They will build the world for humans. The topic of Martian factories is also being discussed intensely. According to some insiders, SpaceX is already exploring the possibility of creating automated production facilities directly on Mars. This would mean that in the future, Optimus robots would not only build the base, but also manufacture new parts, repair equipment, and even assemble new robots from delivered components. If this happens, the colony would develop far faster than previously expected. Some analysts go even further, suggesting that Musk ultimately aims to create a nearly independent robotic economy on Mars. Machines would extract resources, process materials, build infrastructure, and sustain future colonies with minimal involvement from Earth. And this fundamentally changes the concept of a space civilization. Interestingly, amid these rumors, Tesla has sharply increased recruitment of robotics and autonomous systems engineers. Some specialists who recently joined the company claim that the current pace of Optimus development resembles the early years of SpaceX, when Musk pushed teams to work under extreme pressure to achieve what seemed impossible. And many inside Tesla believe the Mars Optimus project has become Musk's new obsession. According to sources close to the company, the billionaire is convinced that robots will become humanity's primary legacy in space. Humans are too fragile, too dependent on environmental conditions, and too expensive to transport. Machines, on the other hand, can be sent in thousands. They do not require air, they do not need food, and they can operate 24 hours a day. And if one fails, it can be replaced without any loss of human life. Some futurists are already comparing future SpaceX missions to the beginning of a new industrial revolution. Only this time, factories and construction sites will appear not on Earth, but on another planet, and Optimus will become the first working class of a Martian civilization. Against this backdrop, Musk's recent statement that Starship should become a lifeboat for humanity has gained renewed attention. Many originally assumed he was referring exclusively to humans, but now some analysts believe he was primarily referring to robots, because without them, large-scale colonization of Mars may be impossible. Some Western media outlets are already publishing forecasts suggesting that by the late 2030s, the number of robots on Mars could exceed the number of humans by thousands of times. Imagine a planet where millions of autonomous machines build roads, tunnels, power stations, and massive dome cities, while humans gradually join an already functioning infrastructure. According to rumors, SpaceX is even discussing the idea of building the first fully robotic underground complexes, since radiation levels beneath the Martian surface are significantly lower. Optimus robots will be able to drill tunnels, reinforce walls, and create vast underground spaces for future colonists. Some engineers call this the anthill of the future, where thousands of machines continuously expand infrastructure beneath the red surface of the planet. But the most astonishing aspect is something else. According to several insiders, Elon Musk allegedly believes that within the next 20 years, robots on Mars could begin constructing the first full-scale cities almost without human assistance. And if such ideas once seemed like pure science fiction, now, after the success of Starship and the accelerated development of Optimus, many are starting to realize that the technological foundation for this is indeed emerging. That is why more and more analysts believe that 2026 could go down in history as the moment the true space age of humanity begins. Not symbolic, not experimental, but a real industrial expansion beyond Earth. And if the first Optimus mission does take place, historians may one day describe it as the day humanity first sent its mechanical pioneers to build a new world among the red deserts of Mars.